Let's see. And there we are. Move that down. Okay. We go. Hello, first grade families, and welcome to Online Parent Night virtually. I'm Carrie Hallenslaben, and my co-teacher is Laura O'Donnell. Right now, she is out of the room with students. I have a little introductory slide here just so you can get to know me a little bit. I have two children. One just started middle school and the other one is in high school. And I'm married to a German national, and we like to travel and spend time together as a family. I have been teaching first grade for 9 years at Pembroke, and before that I taught for 4 years at a charter school, which is how I met and know Mrs. O'Donnell. I love learning, and I have an early childhood degree and then a master's in curriculum and instruction, and then my most recent schooling was educational neuroscience, kind of an integration between education and neuroscience through Johns Hopkins. I really love learning about math and early numeracy. That's a passion of mine, and I love first grade. Mrs. O'Donnell, like I said, is not in the room right now. She will be with me when we meet synchronously. Oh, okay, I don't think that's a word, but when we meet on Wednesday evening. But there is a video link I'm going to point to right here that tells you a little bit about her. So I hope that you'll go back and take a peek at that after this presentation. We work together from a perspective of collaboration, and we basically teach everything to all of the children. So we do math. Both of us will do the math lessons. We'll do small groups, reading groups, work on social emotional development. And so I truly come from a place of a co-teacher perspective and not a lead and an assistant. I think this is important for our children also, to know that we both have expertise and want to help them to learn and grow. And then I also have a little bullet here about making sure that you include both of us in email conversation, communication, I mean, because if I don't have time to check, she might, and vice versa. So it's good to try to reach both of us at the same time. This year, we have Elizabeth Naji as our room parent. This, of course, will be a much different year because we will not be having in-school parties, but we still want to involve families. And a couple of ideas, we're trying to be creative about this. A couple of ideas that we have are virtual readers, where you could read a book from home and videotape yourself, and we'll share it with class. Or another thing that we really hope that we'll do this year is sharing of some family traditions. This has been a big part of first grade. As long as I've been here, as families have come in and shared Chinese New Year or a religious celebration, so that our children can learn about the world around them. So I hope we'll be able to continue this even virtually. Okay, so this is a crazy year, right? It's unlike anything that we have done before. And so we're all adjusting, and we're definitely all learning, teachers and children alike. What's new right now in the classroom is our seating arrangement, the plexiglass, everyone having their own independent supplies, distancing. We have a lot of time built into the schedule throughout the day for bathroom breaks and washing hands. Only 2 people can be in the bathroom at a time. So it's important that we have those breaks in there. And our schedule has been completely overhauled. So we are with students, especially, we also do lunch in the classroom, as you know, so we're with students the majority of the day. And this just impacts you in the way that it's not so easy to grab and get on the email or something like that. So that you'll just have to be a little patient with us. And of course, we're integrating technology quite a lot. Of course, with these changes, some challenges occur. What we've noticed is that with the seating, it's more difficult to hear. It's also harder to see through the plexiglass, and also being at desks can cause body fatigue for adults and children. Um, with the independent supplies and distancing, there are some limitations to group activities that we used to do. With the transitions, we are trying to be as flexible as possible to make those times meaningful, even though children may be out in the restroom, so that people are not just sitting around waiting. The communication I already have talked to you about with regard to the change in schedule, and occasionally, unfortunately, we're having some technology issues, although it's really been a little better than I expected, and I anticipate it will get better as we have more experience. And then here are some of the solutions as we see right now. Of course, this will change over time, where with regard to like not being able to hear or see, we are just constantly checking in with children, and often we're the ones that can't hear. They're doing better than we are, but we're making sure that we're checking in with them. We're giving them a lot of movement breaks. They absolutely have to get out of that chair. We have spots on the floor, little dots on the floor where they can distance and sit on the floor. We're trying to be creative in our peer learning opportunities. So as long as they're a little bit distance, they're potentially able to share a partner activity. We're building in routines as much as we possibly can. And of course, being patient with all these new things. Social and emotional well-being is even more essential, I think, right now, because our children, even though they're not necessarily showing us, this really has been stressful and difficult for them. Now, they're very happy to be back at school, as we are too, as teachers. We really thrive on that connection with others. And so, as you know, at the beginning of the year, we spent a lot of time trying to get to know each other a little bit more and to build respect for our community and compassion with them. We're guided by our values and our together cultivating the best in each for the benefit of all. Our, gosh, I wanted to say slogan, but our theme of Pembroke Hill. And so that really is guiding us in how we are developing our community. And it does every year, but even this year, I feel like it's even more important. This was written by our children about how we will be kind to one another, and ways that we can bring others up, be uplifters instead of bringing people down. So I'll give you a moment to look over that list. You might want to ask your children actually to share with you some of the ways that they're kind to others. We actually tally when children are kind to one another and someone else reports it. We call those kindness tallies. And instead of reporting about something that you've done that's kind, you report something that someone else has done that's kind, and it helps us to get outside of ourselves a little bit. Our beliefs about learning, this has not changed at all. We believe that the safe classroom is first and foremost. And then we also know that building self-efficacy is very important. If a child is to take risks and build up their confidence, they need to struggle at times, and an appropriate struggle. So we make sure that children have the support that they need to be successful, but also the challenges that they need to build that confidence. We incorporate active learning and inquiry-based learning and try to tie everything together so that we are teaching in an integrated fashion with science and social studies as part of our literacy and math as well. This is a growth mindset that I'm sure you've probably heard of. It's pretty well known right now, and there are some great books about the growth mindset. This goes back to that whole idea of positive struggle rather than we don't want our children to feel stressed, but the little bit of stress that allows them to push themselves is actually beneficial. And so I would encourage you at home to think about some of the things that perhaps you're doing for your children that they could do on their own, because taking care of oneself actually builds their confidence and makes them feel as if they can take care of themselves. So it's a really good and important skill to build. Community. This kind of, I feel like I've talked about a little bit already. We start the year looking at our community within the classroom and our community within PHS, our teachers and the lunch helpers and all the people that help us to have a great day. And then we start to venture out into the community. And, we do our harvesters donation in the fall typically. Hopefully we'll still be doing it this year. And there are other areas of community service that we want to do for our community. And then learning more about our families and family traditions helps kind of broaden our perspective. And then finally, the global perspective. And our children love learning about geography and learning about how others in different places live. So that is sort of our what this graphic is over here, starting with ourselves and broadening our view of community. We embrace diversity. Unfortunately, I could not take a picture like this this year of our children because we can't allow them to be so close, but we do have a diversity photo that I will share once I have everyone's photos. But we read a book called The Colors of Us, and we do a photo collage of the colors of us in this classroom. We talk about differences because that's really important in learning about how while we have many differences, we also have so much that connects us. And so we will concentrate on that all throughout the year. That'll be a theme for us. As far as academics goes, this is just a basic overview of our curriculum. And we try to, I already mentioned this, but we try to integrate as much as we possibly can. I am very into hands-on learning, and for example, I have this giant sunflower head that I am going to show to the children this week, and we will do a STEM activity that's integrated with that. We'll read some literature that goes along with that. We had a cricket in our classroom last week. These types of real world connections help children to want to read and want to write and want to do, to discover. And so I try to integrate that as much as possible. And then I'll let you read about our curriculum on your own. And if you have any questions about anything when we meet, well, not in person, but when we meet virtually on Wednesday evening, I can talk to you a little bit more about that. Homework. This is a question that everybody seems to be interested in. We are not starting homework until we finish assessments this year. And we haven't even started assessments yet. So it will probably be a few weeks. We typically in first grade have Monday, we send home some math homework, which can be completed throughout the week. It has a few different math exercises, and there's actually an example here if you'd like to click on that. And then we have previously sent home reading bags with a couple of books that are on your child's level. They can also read books from home, but there's a reading log that we hope that you'll fill out for your child. We're really basically just trying to build some habits of responsibility through this homework. It should never take too long to do homework. Reading for maybe 10 to 15 minutes and then about 5 minutes of math a day is really enough to just build that habit in. Birthday celebrations. I think we've already had a couple of birthdays that have passed, and we'll go ahead and make sure to include those children. Maybe you can shoot me an email actually, because I haven't started my list yet of birthdays. But we have two homework assignments that will go home. One is called the birthday survey, and that's about when they were babies, and you help them to fill that out, like whether or not they had hair when they were born and things that they liked when they were babies. And then the other is a top 10 list that they get to tell the top, most important 10 things about themselves. And then after they do those sheets, they bring them back and we honor them either in the morning or at the end of the day, and they share that back with us, with their whole class. And it's a great way to continue to build community. Dismissal, I feel like you already know this because this is how it's been at Pembroke for a while now. We will make sure that your child gets in the car safely, but we can't have a conference with you at the car, maybe a couple quick exchange of words. But if you send an email, we'll definitely follow up with you, because sometimes that can be a bit of I don't want to say chaotic, because it's not chaotic, but just a time where we're really trying to watch many things. And so you might mention, like, tomorrow so-and-so has an appointment, and I might forget by the time I get back inside. So, our number one goal is to take care of the children, make sure that they're safe. And then here are a few things that you can do to help from home, making sure that they're bringing water each day and they have a jacket at school and that they're getting enough rest. Library books come back on Wednesdays. They should have tennis shoes every day. And then we talked already about sort of helping them to build those self-help skills. These next 3 slides are from the resource teachers, and they have videos attached. So this is a map of the lower school, and if you click on different areas of the map, you'll pull up the video for those particular teachers. So it's kind of a get to know you virtually of the resource teachers, which I'll let you do on your own. And then here are the Zoom links for the resource teachers. They will be here for open house also. So you can click on these links and you'll be able to connect with them on Wednesday evening. This is my final slide. There are a few different ways to get a hold of us right now. Email or phone are the best. We don't have a lot of time to check our emails, so if it's something that's important for that day, we may not see that, so it might be better to call us. I mean, the classroom phone number is right here. We also will communicate with you via Schoology, Seesaw, through Veracross posts, and you can follow me if you want on Fantastic One Grade, at Fantastic One Grade, which is my Twitter account. I don't put a ton on there, but I definitely advocate for education through that Twitter. So I hope that I didn't talk too fast and that I made sense. It was a different way to do this with the recording, but hopefully if you have any questions, or if you'd like any clarification at all, please join us at 6 o'clock this Wednesday, and we'll see you there. We're really, really enjoying having your children. It's been so great to be together again. And thank you for your support too. I feel like the families in here are very, very supportive. So we really appreciate that. Okay, and